Howdy folks, and welcome back to Reading Held Hostage. My name's Blue, and I love to read.
My name's Justin, I don't like reading. I almost forgot to speak.
You just...
I was like, I'm here again.
I mean, I know we communicate telepathically in our normal, everyday lives. I don't think they'd be able to hear us on the podcast.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Before we start, I just want to say, if you haven't already, please leave us a review on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, any of that. Well, I guess just Spotify or Apple.
You can give a thumbs up on YouTube.
Yeah. We're on YouTube. You could shoot something over there. People at work make fun of me when I say, like, shoot us a like or something like that. They're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Anyways, or we're on TikTok. But yeah.
Like and subscribe.
If you leave us a review, it's really helpful, and we appreciate it nonetheless. But today, Justin, you know what we're doing? We're breaking one of my rules.
Going back to a series?
Well, no, more so reading a series that an author, like something that an author put out way later. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, it's the same series.
A lore extension.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, then you should have put it in the book.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I usually wouldn't do that, but today we're reading The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And, I mean, I did break my rule, but I feel like this is not an extension of the Hunger Games universe. It's a new thing.
Well, the thing is, we're doing it because it's super timely. See, The memes are almost dying out as we're recording.
Yeah.
And then we have
5 more weeks until this goes out.
Until this posts.
Maybe 3. I think this.
Hey, you remember that meme from 2 months ago?
When will this go out? Did you ruin my plans?
No.
This will go out on the 19th, I think. So just before Christmas.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
Just before baby.
Yeah, we have a C-section scheduled that week for the baby, so. It's an exciting week. Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes and baby. I mean, pretty much the same level of excitement for me personally. I was against reading this book at first because it's from Snow's point of view.
Yeah.
But I think that makes it better because it doesn't feel like another Hunger Games where they're like, look, like, you know, here's, for example, what would piss me off. In Twilight, they had a character named Bree Tanner in the 3rd book, and they gave her a spin-off book. But we already knew that she died in the eclipse. So I was like, I'm not fucking reading that.
Yeah.
But this kind of does, like, more, like, growth for what the Hunger Games themselves are.
Yeah.
And Snow himself.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of questions for you because I kept going.
Radical.
So just, I guess, start off from TikTok, from what you've seen and heard from me too. Mm-hmm. What do you know so far about this book?
So it follows Snow as he's a mentor for the 10th games. Mm-hmm. With like PTSD flashbacks of him being in the war and training the 12th district lady. Okay. Yeah. The 12th district, but they focus on the lady.
She's a girl. Because remember, she's
girl.
Under 18. Okay, I think that's good. How do you think this ties in with the original 3 Hunger Games books? If you had to, like, I mean, besides the fact that it's Hunger Games and Snow, I would say people are trying to, like, find a lot of, like, because of this that happened in this book, that's why Snow hates Katniss.
Like,
I think he just hated Katniss because she...
I think, yes, that could have
been triggering.
Could have been like, oh, he thought of a time that sucked. Mm-hmm. Or like a time he's not emotionally over, but...
Yeah.
So what? Like...
Yeah, he's like 80 at the point in the Hunger Games, so he's 18 in this book, I think.
Yeah, it's nearly been 70 years.
Yeah, pretty
or 60
much.
Years.
Yeah, well, because she went in the 74th Hunger Games, it was the 10th, so 65 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of my other things... Okay, so if anything in this book, do you feel like not maybe make you sympathetic to Snow, but like understanding of how he ended up who we know from the first trilogy? What do you think would make you feel? The
PTSD. It's just like...
That would give you some understanding?
Some understanding of like... It's not an excuse or like anything like that.
Yeah.
But being a person that's seen horrible things and have done horrible things.
Yeah.
That you're not emotionally over would definitely could drive you to do the same things again.
And I'll say it's not even that he's emotionally over it. Homeboy didn't even he just goes, okay, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
completely repressed.
I would say just like sociopath level of non-feeling.
Okay. Then I don't think that would play into it that much.
Yeah, because the Snow we know from the original trilogy, all we know about him is that he's the president.
Yeah.
And he's good at it.
Should we put some PTSD resources in?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. Yeah, they don't use that word, of course, but
I know, but it is a topic.
Yeah,
and
of course.
We should probably put a thing in the front that we're going to talk about it.
We'll do that. So this is the 10th games. How do you think the 10th games differs from the 74th games that we initially saw?
Lower tech.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I guess, yeah. I mean, you
lower
don't have
tech,
a ton of
like,
perspective. Like, do you think the Capitol people are like, this is the best thing ever?
No, you told me they weren't.
Yeah, I did. But still, like... And I think low tech's a good way to start with it. And I think we're just going to go for it. It's in 3 parts, so we're going to try to do part 1 and then some of part 2 and then part 2 and part 3 next episode. Because I didn't realize I had so much to say about it when I was writing my notes. So, I also didn't do chapter by chapter, I just did the whole chunk. So part 1 is called The Mentor. That's the other reason I didn't want to do this book is because I didn't say mentor right. So his name is Coriolanus Snow.
Do you think he's related to President Snow?
You know what? I think he might just be.
Really?
I think.
Okay.
I haven't finished the notes yet, so we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, cool.
He's poor because his mom and dad both passed during the war, which happened 10 years prior. This is the war between District 13 where they nuked 13. And all the districts were involved, but 13 was the primary
What was
agitator.
like the sides? Capital against everybody?
Capital against everybody.
Okay.
I think it's not like how in the war we see in the trilogy, where like District 2 is siding with the Capital. This is like, it was all the districts. Which means there's like remaining rebels. I'm air quoting that. Because after a war you can call anyone you want a rebel and harm and like kind of like how we do with terrorists.
A sympathizer or whatever.
And then go from there. He currently lives with his grandmother and his cousin Tigress. Yes, that Tigress from the
one that turns into a tiger?
Yep.
Okay. Is she a tiger now?
No, she's a regular person.
Okay. That's just her name.
Yeah, because this is the 10th Hunger Games, so we don't remember how she was like a stylist in the games eventually.
Yeah.
We don't have that here.
She's not a stylist yet.
And again, they're poor, so she's like working for somebody who's...
Yeah.
These capital names are so fucking funny. So Tigress, Coriolanus.
Yeah.
The person Tigress works for, her name is Fabrica Whatnot.
Okay. Fabric Whatnot.
Yep. But Tigress is, of course, really good with things like that, and they make do with what they have. They owned the apartment prior to their parents, or to Snow's death, and his dad passed in the war, where his mom passed away during childbirth.
Him?
No, with what would have been his younger sister.
Oh, lost.
So he was 5 years old, yeah. And they lost both of them because there weren't enough medical personnel in the capital to assist with the birth. So it sounds like a postpartum
because of the war.
Because of the war. So apparently, this is something I think is interesting, is learning about this war from the capital perspective. So people were dying left and right, like it was really bad. Like in the capital themselves, there wasn't fighting, but people were dying from starvation and things like that.
Yeah.
Like what happened in any war, like,
or any siege, really, like,
or like I don't know, District 12 normally.
Yeah.
But it was to the point where people were like straight up cannibalizing other people.
Damn.
Like, Snow watched, like, a maid die on the street, and then he watched somebody who lives in his building
grab the corpse,
take her leg, and go from there.
So not even the whole thing.
Yeah. Snow was also 5.
Yeah.
During, like, his age range is around 5 to 8 when Tigress is only 3 years older than him.
When did the like war end? How old was he when the war ends?
I think he was 5 when the war ended.
Okay.
So I think that was, they took a couple years to get the Hunger Games up and running, and then now they have the Hunger Games.
Okay.
So it's been 13 years since the war.
So it took him 3 years to be like, get in the pit.
Yeah, well, and to figure out everything that goes with it. But yeah.
Get in the pit.
The pit. Is that how you imagine this arena?
The first one.
Very first one's just a pit.
Yeah.
Snow lives his poor people's secret. So he's the type that, like, everybody loves. Like, he's always like, hey, how's your mom? Like, I knew she was sick. Like,
he's the
like
talk
that.
of the town.
Yeah, he's very handsome. He's very, people know the name Snow just because, like, it was a popular name.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. And so nobody knows he's, like, poor.
Yeah.
And this year he's
really flexing on those hoes with nothing in his pockets.
Well, it gives me, like I was kind of saying, like, more like sociopath.
Or what I said.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, because the thing I was going to say, it gives, like, the way he discusses it in the thing is, like, he takes a mental tally of what he needs to do to, like, to talk to, what to do so that people don't know. So he's always very aware of those types of things.
He's, like, playing Stardew.
Yeah, or something. Like, he's like, okay, interaction with the first 28 members of the town, things like that. Like, he's very methodical about that kind of stuff. Which is a little off-putting.
Yeah.
He's going to the academy, which is, like, high school for us.
Autistic coded.
I mean, I would personally put it more as socio-coded. He's been chosen, as well as 23 other members of his class, to be mentors to the tributes of this year's Hunger Game, year 10.
Okay.
And the goal of this Hunger Games is to engage the capital people in the games. So basically at this point, what happens for the games is you get the tributes, they come in, they fight to the death, one of them goes home. And there's no, like, pomp and circumstance that we see in the 74th Hunger Games. Like, at all.
It literally is, we kidnap some kids, throw in a pit, and one gets to go home.
Yeah. And they don't have the victor's village. There's no, like, awesomeness that happens after somebody wins. There's no interviews. Again, no stylists, nothing like that. And it's to the point where nobody in the Capitol likes to watch it because we're just killing kids.
Yeah. It's boring.
Yeah, it's boring.
It'd be different if it was cool.
No. They actually think it's pretty barbaric. They're like...
It would be different if it was cool, though.
It would be different if they could dehumanize them, is what it is, I think.
If it was cool, though.
Yes. So, like I said, he's really well liked. His mentor, he has a mentor named I've never said any of these out loud. Straya? Yeah. Who's a teacher at the academy. A friend of his is named Sejanus. I don't know how to pronounce these. I should have looked them up first.
Yo, what up? It's me, Jay Anus.
Sejanus, who was formerly of District 2.
Oh.
So, remember, after District 12 passed, that's where they got most of their peacekeepers, most of their war bombs and shit like that. They transferred all of that over to District 2. So that's actually how Coriolanus, Snow's family lost all their money, because they had all their money in District 13's military stuff.
They were arms dealers. They're Lockheed Martin.
Yes. So Sejanus, yeah, his family was District 2's version of Snow. So they were able to buy their way into the Capitol. So he's from District 2.
So he's Lockheed Martin. They're BlackRock.
I don't know who BlackRock is, but sure. And they are assigned the tributes, and Snow gets the female tribute from District 12, who's the one who's most likely to die, which pisses him off to no extent. And I actually want to pull up the list of the district kids' names, which will take me a second. So Justin, you cover for us.
Yeah, I'm Googling shit.
What are you Googling? Lockheed Martin?
BlackRock.
Okay.
They're an investment company, and they're in a whole bunch of shady shit.
Always? I'm so sorry for
what large investment company
okay,
is
here
it?
we go. So these are the names of... Oh, shoot. Not that one. There's a couple of different lists.
I love how much clicking's in this episode
I need to find the list of names, because I think it's funny, the list of names from the capital kids to the district kids.
Yeah. I would also like to add that Blue was just using her other hand to click the right... she had her hand on the mouse and then was pressing her finger to click.
I don't even know what I was doing. Okay, so here's some of the district kids' names. Facet. Marcus. Cirque. Coral.
Yo, what up? It's me, Cirque!
Soul. Otto. Okay. Lamina. These are pretty Bobbin. Okay. Tanner. Reaper.
Tanner? How did Tanner sneak his way in there?
Know.
Tanner, get the fuck out.
And then the kids from District 12 are named Jessup and Lucy Gray. Okay, so those were some of the district kids' names. Okay. Are you ready for the capital kids' names?
Tanner, get out.
Livia, Sejanus, Flora, Io, Urban, Persephone, Festus, Dennis, Apollo. Apollo and Diana, those are twins. Vipsania.
Yo, what up? It's me, Vipsania.
Pliny. We got a Pliny.
Oh.
Hilarious. I can't even read some of these. Arachne.
Yo, what up? It's me, Spider.
Clemencia. Okay, so those are the types of names we're dealing with, so please give me a break when I have to pronounce these.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Spider.
Okay, so he gets the District 12 girl, and he's like, you're fucking kidding me. The person who's gonna lose. Mm-hmm. A lot's writing on this for him. He doesn't care that she's gonna die. A lot's writing on this for him personally, because...
He needs to show his family still has power.
And there's a prize for being the winning mentor. You get, basically, it's like enough money to go to university.
Gives me a scholarship.
Yeah, pretty much. And he's like, that's bullshit. Like, I can't believe I have this shitty tribute. Like, This sucks. And they watch the reaping, which isn't anything great. The mayor's the one who pulls the name. They don't have, like, a special capital person there.
So it's not, for the other mentors, it's not a lot of money. Because they're all rich kids. No,
they're like, we're just doing this as an assignment. And he's like, I'm literally going to die. Well, not literally, because Lucy's literally going to die. Legacy. He's like, I won't have anything after this.
He's Hamilton fighting.
Yeah. He's got to get his money to go to the U.S.
Yeah.
To Penn Am.
Cool.
Okay. So her name is Lucy Gray Bard. She prefers Lucy Gray, though. She's got a very pretty dress on. You've probably seen the dress. It's like a white corset top with
like different layers of color.
It honestly looks kind of capital. And that's what people are saying is like she inspired a lot of the new fashion in the Capitol because she wore a lot of colors and stuff like that. As she walks up to the stage, she ends up putting a snake in like this other girl's dress.
Radical.
And then when she walks up to the stage, the mayor of 12 slaps her, and basically she's getting a lot of sympathy. She's really working the crowd. And then she starts to sing.
Everything that Katniss isn't.
Oh my god, literally. She's PETA. PETA's like, except for the baby. And Lucy Gray's like, oh, I've been slapped by the mayor. Can you believe that?
Oh my god.
Katniss is like, I hate all of you and I need you to know that.
I'm so pretty and I got hit.
Oh no. She also sings and she's really good at it.
Of course.
I didn't pay attention much to the songs, but apparently they're like really important.
Is it one of them the hanging tree?
Mm-hmm. And the meadow song that Katniss sings to Rue as Rue dies.
That's why it triggered him. That's why it triggered Snow.
I mean, that is what people say. It's like, he was triggered before that.
Yeah.
He was constantly triggered before that. The male tribute, his name is Jessup, which I just like that name. And that's from 12.
Yeah.
So, there is, like, a little after reaping celebration in the Capitol, like, with the Academy kids.
Yeah, the kids are fucking psyched
They're
about
like, this is dope. We've got our people. Like, this is awesome. And he's cornered by the dean. His name is Dean Highbottom.
Does he have long legs?
You know, it's super funny that you say that. He's played by a little person. I can't remember the guy's name. It's like the guy from I actually can't.
Game of Thrones.
I think it's that.
Peter Dinklage?
Yeah, Peter Dinklage, yeah. Yeah, so it's actually really funny that you say that, because his legs aren't very long, because he's a little person. Anyway, Dean Highbottom, he's like, basically approaches Snow and he's like, I know you're poor.
Poor ass
and
bitch.
I know you have to win the prize money so that you can go to university and not be poor.
Bitch.
You're poor, and I hate you. The next thing, like, Snow does is he waits.
Do you smell that? It smells like a fucking poor person.
Smells like poor. He waits at the train station. His cousin Tigress had the idea that he should be at the train station to greet his tribute. And the train that comes is literally a livestock cage. And it's got all of them chained and manacled in, like, 2 carts. All the tributes, all 24 of them. So it's, again, not the luxury we see.
Yeah. They don't get to live capital for a little bit.
No. And, like, the platform is, like, 5 feet below the train. So they're, like, jumping out onto this, like, 5 foot. They also aren't getting fed.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's, like, no care in the world. The peacekeepers are, like, yanking them and, like, hitting them, assaulting them. And Snow, like, pops in and gives Lucy, like, a rose. And he's like, what's up, girl?
Hey, girl.
I'm your mentor. And then he ends up getting into a circus cart with them. Like, an animal circus cart. Like, exactly what you're thinking. Like, typical. Because the peacekeepers are like, you either gotta go or you gotta come. Like, what are your options?
Yeah. Think of a circus cart. Now worse.
Yes. With 25 people in.
Yeah.
Again, they're all chained, and he's attacked by a tribute in the cart.
Cool.
But it doesn't matter because they then all get dumped into the monkey exhibit at the zoo. That's where the tributes stay.
All right.
So really none of the pomp and circumstance we see. Snow feels embarrassed. Why do you think Snow feels embarrassed?
That he's in there?
Yeah, that people can see him.
Yeah. Because
there's, like, a TV crew. So, like, he's like, shit, people are watching me, the infamous Snow in this monkey cage being treated like this.
Yeah.
But he and Lucy Gray end up working together to gain favor of the crowd. She, like, talks to some of the kids. She's the only one interacting. All the others are, like, scared children and animals, like, in the back. Like, what the fuck?
She's here for it. She's pumped and ready to go.
Well, I think she gets that, like,
it's life or death from now on.
And,
like Katniss didn't get.
It's because Katniss is an idiot.
It was like, dude, you stepped on the train into the games. Like,
literally. You got called and you're in the games. Instant.
Yes. Yep.
She is talking to, like, a TV reporter, and they ask her some questions about, like, District 12, and she actually describes herself as not a District 12 citizen, but as somebody who's a part of the Covey, which to me seemed a little bit more like the Romani people who were nomads, travelers. She's like, we were forced to stay in District 12 after the war. They corralled us and put us in District 12.
Yeah.
So she identifies as part of the Covey versus District 12. Peacekeepers eventually come to get Snow, and he heads back to the academy, and he gabs with Dr. Gall. So Dr. Gall's an important character. She's the
Gall of this.
I mean, yeah, she's the head peacekeeper, and she also does some fun genetic manipulation. And she and him are, like, on the same page. They're like, we need an audience for this.
I want people to watch my massacre.
Literally. She's like the empire of the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
And she's like, we need people to watch and engage. And then afterwards, she's like, I like you, but he gets a demerit from the dean. Ugh.
Kill him.
Unbelievable. Snow getting a demerit?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And after 3, he would get expelled.
What the frick?
Or worse, expelled. That same day, he heads back to the cage, the monkey exhibit in the zoo.
Yep.
Where Sejanus, yeah, is trying to give out food, but nobody's coming near him.
Who's Sejanus?
That's his friend, one of the other mentors.
The
boy who was previously a District 2 citizen.
Yeah.
And so, like, no one's coming near him. They're like, no. And he's like, Snow, please get your tribute to come over here because her eating won't motivate the others. And Lucy Gray comes over and gets some food and is like, gossip time. I think that District 2 tribute and his mentor, Sejanus, have personal beef.
They beefin'?
Beefin'. So Lucy Gray and Snow get some more on-screen time. And Lucy Gray's like, it would be just... She's got an accent. I'm not going to be able to do it. She's like Appalachian accent.
Yeah.
To the T. She's like, it'd be great if y'all brought me some food.
It'd be great if y'all brought me some food.
Thank you. Because they're, again, not being fed by the Capitol. Yeah. In fact, before they leave, they get to see the beds being rolled out. What do you think the beds are?
Fucking metal bunk beds, no mattress.
Try hay bales.
Oh. That's comfier than what I thought, though.
I suppose. But it's out in the open. They don't have any interior.
Yeah.
Again, no food or water being served to them.
So just killing them with exposure already.
Yeah. Then Snow and Sejanus have a gab about Marcus, the boy from 2, was a friend of Sejanus's in school previously. And he's like, my dad had to do this. Like, my dad had to set this up somehow. And Marcus is like... Or Marcus, the tribute from District 2, is sure to win, but they like Snow. Like, I would like Gray to win. Snow's like, I'd like Lucy to win. That would be great.
Yeah.
Again, purely for selfish reasons. Sejanus then goes on a rant about how the Hunger Games are unnatural and it's human nature to protect the children and, like, what the fuck's going on. And Snow's like, alright.
Cool.
Okay. Snow honestly doesn't see the fucked upness about this.
And we're just killing kids. It's fine.
Yeah. So Tigress, his cousin, is like, take some breakfast to Lucy Gray. Again, as the tributes are not being fed.
Yep.
Typically the way it would go is like, you know, in our Hunger Games that we know, the trilogy, they get 2 weeks of being pampered, training, you know, fattened up. They get their interviews, their stylists, all that. Then in that 2 weeks they go to the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
In this, it's kind of like 5 days. They starve them, and then they put them in the game.
Yeah.
That's it.
Real Hunger Games.
Quite literally. In class, the mentors have a discussion on how to make the games more watchable, because again, that's their curriculum. And Snow's like, wouldn't it be funny if we let them bet? Let the people participate so they have a connection to it, but make it a game so that everyone else, even the Capitol kids, are like, you know, that'll be fun. Mm-hmm. Because everybody thinks it's completely barbaric. Like, even the kids in the class are like, this is fucked.
Yeah.
Again, not Snow, though. Snow's fine with it.
Snow's like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool if we could, like, bet on their survival.
Yeah,
and pay to give them food. Would that be cool? They then have a meeting with their tributes, each individually, and they're given the assignment to learn as much about their tribute as possible, which he does, and Lucy Gray is quite the talker. Snow feels bad for her and her impending death. That's it. They even flirt a little, which makes Snow tongue-tied, but he keeps going, and even finds himself, like, weirdly opening up to her a little bit, which I also find weird.
Yeah.
Again, they know each other for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
From this point to when she goes into the games.
No, it's definitely weird.
Yeah. It's kind of Twilight level of, like, oddness in the attraction, except for, again, Snow's like, I'm okay with everybody else here dying, except for her, And for the reason I didn't care, or I did care about her not dying, was I wanted to get the money.
I know that she would be the most notable person. Like, I don't care the boy dies, because the boy's not going to, bring me any fame.
Yeah, Jessup can fucking rot in hell.
Yeah.
So, the other mentors have a really hard time getting any information from their tribute, and Dr. Gall's like, again, who is crazy. She's like, Snow's the best, and he also thought, they also thought that his idea was pretty good. So he and 2 other classmates, Clemencia and Arachne,
That's Spider.
to write up a proposal. They're chosen to write up a proposal about this.
Okay.
At the zoo again after school, Lucy Gray's talking to some kids, they're giving her food. Other tributes follow suit and start to beg at the bars. And kids even begin to perform / dance for their foods.
Radical.
Yeah. Arachne is sitting with her tribute, and she's kind of teasing for the camera. She's like, oh, you can't have this. Oh. And then the girl gets so pissed, she pulls Arachne forward, steals her knife, and slits her throat.
Just kills her?
Kills her on spot.
Oh, yeah.
Your face when I told you. You didn't see that coming at all. Obviously, everyone's freaking out again. This is in public. There's cameras there. It's in front of a bunch of children.
Yeah.
Not ideal. But Snow goes over to her to try to staunch the bleeding as what's it? That's just his first reaction.
It's a first aid.
Yeah. And she does die anyway. But the girl who killed her immediately gets gunned down.
Dead. All right.
And, they, the peacekeepers come in, they start, the peacekeepers were just shooting guns into the crowd, other people got hit, nobody else died, but it's not, not a pretty prim and proper scene we would have seen from the current Capitol we know.
No, some executions are done behind stage.
Most of them, you would say. He runs into one of the other, because that was the girl he was supposed to write a proposal with, he runs into Clemencia. And she's like, I'm not going to be able to write this. I'm going to cry, all night. That was awful. And he gets home and he's like,
go cry yourself to sleep, little bitch.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to write the fucking proposal. So he does. And he turns it in. How do you
write? You're running out of time.
It's giving Hamilton. Except for without emotions. And
yeah. A monster like Hamilton. Yeah. I mean...
At school the next day, he's getting all kinds of praise for how he reacted to helping her, and he's like, oh my god, this is awesome.
Nice.
I'm getting so much praise. People remember me. This is perfect. And then he and Clemencia get called to go to, it's called the Citadel. That's where Dr. Gall works in her labs. And they get called regarding the proposal. And she's like, why did you write that? He's like, it kept me from freaking out. A lie. Yeah. He just wanted to write it. And so they're okay, she kind of is like, okay, so then we co-wrote it. He's non-committal, sure, okay.
Whatever, I guess.
He doesn't care. And Dr. Gall tests that. She's got this snake pit. And she's like, who wrote the proposal?
Yeah. Because
I don't have any more copies. My copy's in the snake pit. Who wrote it? And Snow's like, oh, we co-wrote it. Or Clemencia's like, we co-wrote it. She's like, awesome. Snow, reach your hand in there and get some of that proposal. It's in, multiple parts. So he does, and he, sneaks his hand in there, and the snakes are like, who cares? I don't care about that guy. Clemencia does it, immediately bit by the snakes. And she's, freaking the fuck out. And assistants grab her and quickly inject her with a needle. And Snow's like, what the fuck? And Dr. Gall's like, I guess her scent must have not been on the paper. Lying is bad.
Ooh.
But she's like, about your proposal, BT Dubs. Love it. We're totally going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And Snow's like, what? She just got bit by snakes. And he goes to the hospital to try to, see what's going on with Clemencia. And he's like, no, they're like, you can't see her. You can't come in. So he's kind of freaked out. He's happy for the praise. He's happy for the praise that Dr. Gall liked his proposal.
It's crazy how a person that's so brutal that they enjoy the Hunger Games would be brutal.
Crazy, right? And it's kind of like in this thing, it's like Dr. Gall training him to be the Snow we know, but it's also like he was there before. There's a reason she chose him.
She saw the potential.
100%. Like, she saw his potential. Again, that was already there. It wasn't like she was like, I'm going to make him a crazy person.
Yeah.
It was like, it's not that hard.
He is a crazy person.
Yeah. So, he goes to the zoo to see Gray again, and apparently, like, rats are vibing, so her and Jessup are sleeping in shifts because Jessup got bit their first night. And he plays this, oh my god, this pisses me off. He plays this game and he's like, Lucy, I'm so sorry you have to die. Like, this is so horrible, this treatment of you. Like, it's awful. I'm so sorry. And she has to comfort his dumbass by being like, it's not your fault. Like, it's not.
Kill him.
Like, Katniss didn't blame, I'm trying to think, Effie or Cinna or her prep team. She was kind of an asshole and thought of her prep team as, like, birds. But she didn't blame any of them as individuals besides the fact that they had the, like, weird brainage to be like, this is a fun thing.
Yeah.
She blamed Snow. And Snow's over here like, it's my fault.
Yeah.
Asawi. And Lucy Gray has to be like, no, it's not your fault.
Yeah. It's just...
It's stupid and it's annoying. It's very manipulative.
Yeah.
Red flag. Snow then requests, hey, at the interview, because this is the first year they're introducing interviews, and they're not mandatory, they're volunteer basis. He's like, you should do your interview, you should sing a song. She's like, I don't know, maybe. And he, like, knows that if she doesn't keep eating, she's going to be dead before the game, so she's like, he's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
His personal mentor, Satria, asked him to sing at the funeral of Spider-Girl.
So just for everybody's, like, understanding of Blue's pronunciation, we have not watched the movie yet.
No, not yet, no. Although I'm excited to.
Yeah.
Because I'm very interested to see why people are slipping over motherfucking Snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, even when I do watch the games, or the movie, it's probably not going to help as much as I would like it to.
I don't know, maybe we do an episode, movie review.
The mentor is like, hey, like, how's your tribute? They say his tribute. Yeah. His girl, his tribute. Drives me bonkers. And he's like, they're not feeding her, which seems to surprise her. He then realizes, like, she didn't ask about Clemencia or nothing, like, and nothing about her. So he's like, I wonder if that's a secret, like, what happened to her. Yeah. The funeral happens, and it's like a school/citywide event. And he sings and has given praise for his attempt to save her. And in a show of strength, what do you think happens? The Capitol is doing a show of strength, not Snow. Any guesses?
Some weird-ass Hitler salute?
No, but it feels kind of like that because all the remaining tributes are chained to a tractor trailer with the dead tribute who killed the girl above them in chains, dead. Cool. And they're being paraded around the city during the funeral. So it feels a little off like that. Then he and Sejanus gab some more, and they take stolen food from the lunchroom to their tributes that are not being fed, which is against school policy to take food. They're visiting the arena, which is the old area Capitol people used to, like, watch circuses and stuff like that.
Very circus-themed.
Yes. But that's the arena. That's been the arena for the last 10 years. It is the same arena. And usually the way they would do it is they just put everybody in there with the weapons and they'd kill each other off within a day. Yeah. So it's, like, you know, in shambles. And it doesn't get cleaned between the games.
So it's just blood everywhere and...
Yeah, except for, like, what was able to come off with, like, rain and weather. Yeah. He hears Lysistrata, who's Jessup's mentor, give him some meds for his rat bites.
Do they pick up the bodies?
During the games?
No, like...
Afterwards? Yeah. No confirmation. I think.
You think?
I think. Okay. They don't pick them up during the games, though. Yeah. The arena kind of looks like an old but, like, newer version of the Colosseum. And they walk around it doing like little performances for the camera, like, ooh, And Snow learns that they finally got some food and water after some of the kids started blacking out.
Cool.
And they have, like, some cute words, and they're like, blah, blah, blah. And then there's an explosion.
Rad.
Snow gets trapped under a burning log.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Sorry. They've done this 9 times.
Mm-hmm. In the same arena.
There hasn't been a kid blacking out before this? Like, they didn't know
sure
they
there
needed
were.
to feed them?
I'm sure there were, but they didn't have mentors.
Oh.
So they didn't have anyone who could care or speak up for them.
So how many would die before the games?
How many do you think die in this game before the games?
Like 3?
Way more.
Oh, God.
So, a lot, I would assume.
Alright.
To be fair, this explosion kills a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So, in this explosion, Snow's trapped under a burning log.
Why does this explosion happen?
We don't know.
Okay.
We never know, actually.
The arena just blows up.
And they're like, it's the rebels.
The rebels did it.
Yeah. There's a theory that it was like Capitol people trying to make the games not happen, but it's completely...
It's their 9/11.
Well, I think the war was closer to their 9/11.
No. This is like... Remember these tributes.
Remember the bombing? No, not the tributes, the mentors.
Yeah, the mentors.
Because the mentors got hurt. They don't give a shit about the tributes.
Okay. How many tributes died?
Well, let me get there.
Okay, tell me now.
I'm trying. So, under this burning log...
Hey, Blue, could you tell me?
He's like, Gray, like, Lucy Gray, help me. And she's like, a hole was in the side. So, like, some of the tributes are escaping, and she was like, I'm gonna go. But Snow's like, no, please. And she helps him and burns her hands up. I don't think Snow would have done it for her.
No fucking way.
In any way, shape, or form. He gets taken to the hospital
he might have... to be like, oh, I can get the same reward for helping someone as last time.
I don't think he would have still. Because he would have put himself in danger, which is a no bueno thing.
Oh, no, I don't think he would have put himself in danger. But
in any way,
yeah.
She gets treated like a prisoner while he gets taken to the hospital, and he wakes up on and off and eventually speaks to Tigress, and they learn, like, they think it was a rebel attack, and that two tributes from 6, both of them died on impact. And then 2 of the mentors for the games also were killed on impact.
Okay.
3 others of his classmates were hospitalized, but just about everybody else had been injured. However, some of the other tributes died after the bombing.
Complications.
Both the District 1 and 2 tributes, both of them were killed trying to escape. They were shot.
So 1s and 2s are gone.
Yeah.
3s are gone.
They even...
3s are gone? 6s.
Yeah,
are
1,
gone.
2, 6. All of them are gone. The boy from District 2 is on the run. He has not been captured.
Okay, and then the one that was killed earlier.
Yes. So
who's that?
I don't know. I don't even know what show. I will tell you when a list pops up. But 2,
more than half
4,
already.
Yeah, 6, 7 have been killed, with 1 on the run. So, a lot. And there's more to come.
So they got like 5 left?
Yeah. No. They have...
Oh, I guess it's 24.
Yeah, 24.
I was thinking it was 12.
No. And they actually have a vet working on the tributes.
Radical.
They don't even give him a real doctor.
Cool.
Not that vets aren't real doctors. A human doctor, I should have said. A person doctor.
No.
He wakes in the hospital to Clemencia, the woman who got bit by the snakes, having a breakdown in a room. She's like, I'm being held hostage. She's like, my skin is peeling off. Like, it's full, like, it looks like snake skin on her body.
Yeah.
She's like, something's going on. Like, this is a conspiracy. And he's like,
yes, this is happening to me.
He's like, okay. All right. Okay.
Is she being turned into a snake?
We don't really know. Yeah, we know she's got snake skin patches.
Cool.
But outside of that. He goes to school a few days later and has another meeting with Lucy Gray. And she's doing okay. Her voice is still, like, rough from the smoke inhalation. Her palms are doing all right. And
knees
he's like,
weak, arms are heavy.
Mm-hmm. And we've made that joke, like, 12 times in the 58 episodes this will be.
Yeah. Anytime we can.
Anytime. And he's like, how can I ever repay you? And she's like, you could start by thinking I can actually win. Yeah. So that's the first part. What do you feel about it?
I feel like I'm done with this book already.
Why? It's good.
It's a good book, but it's just like...
You were genuinely shocked when that girl got her throat slit.
I don't give a shit about Snow. Like, I don't...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I'm like, oh, this is a cool plot. Why is it Snow, though?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why is it from Snow's point of view?
Yeah. Who else would you have wanted it to be a POV of?
Well, it'd be cool if it was Gray's.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's like she probably kind of sees Snow the way Katniss saw Haymitch.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, in a more cruel way and stuff, but then you get to see his corruption from a second point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Of him pretending to be this nice person and then him going into the darkness, you know? Because that's definitely what's going to happen.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Snow's a really good guy.
I think he really turns it around this book.
I mean, have you seen his hair in the movies? It's very curly.
Yeah, very curly.
No, I think that would have been cool. But I mean, Snow, the way Suzanne Collins wrote it, he snitches on himself the whole time. It's like, he's like, hey, everybody, hey. And then he's like, her coat was so fucking ugly. She's literally the ugliest cunt in this whole school. But
that'd be the coolest thing, is to, like, see that second point of view of him, like, showing face and then, like, unmasking to be a horrible person.
Mm-hmm. And can I just say, Mrs. Suzanne Collins, I actually don't know how prefixes work with that type of stuff. Give us Haymitch's game. I need to know what happened. 48 tributes? I need to know.
Yeah.
Girl, I need to know. Please. Okay, so here are some of my thoughts that I wrote down as I was writing. I was like, I think it's really nice to learn about the beginning of the games.
Wait.
Go ahead.
First, I forget who on TikTok was saying it, but the TV show idea. Mm-hmm. Where at each episode you learn, like, you see up to the
Reaping to game.
Reaping to canon. Mm-hmm. You see all of that for each person in each district.
Yeah, so there's like 12 episodes.
And then the last two are just the games. From like, basically them broadcasting the games out.
How the Capitol would broadcast it.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Suzanne, thoughts? Yeah, that and Haymitch's. I need both. Mm-hmm. So again, my thoughts, I thought it was very interesting to learn about the beginning of the games and how very, very different they are from the ones we see in Katniss's world. I do think it's interesting to see Snow's trauma. He didn't exactly watch his mom die, but he kind of did.
Yeah.
And he also witnesses, like, people dying in the streets and being cannibalized. Trigger warning here.
4.
I'm trying to think. Let's say prostitution and underage activities.
Sexual abuse.
Yes, thank you. I was trying to put it because it's not clear. They don't say it. So what happens is Tigress implies that she had to do stuff she didn't want to do during the games or during the war.
Yeah.
Implying that there was a possibility she might have had to sell her body to survive at age 8.
Yeah.
And you know how Snow handled that?
Cool, dude.
No, he goes, I'm just not even going to think about that anymore.
Why'd you tell me that?
Interesting. Okay, I'm done.
Cool.
So, I think it's cool to see how selfish Snow is. Like, all he cares about is maintaining his social status. And even when he does feel empathy for Lucy Gray's situation, he follows it with, like, a shitty view on, like, how she can boost him in society.
Yeah.
And, like, sometimes when she says things, he's like, I literally can't, like, I can't understand your gobbledygook accent. Like, he's like, I don't know what you're trying to say. Like, I can't understand. Unintelligible is the way he describes her.
That's the thing, though, that is helpful to their society, is having that ability to be so cruel.
Yeah.
Like, helps them in, like, oh, you see a riot in District 3 and it got crushed, and you're rooting for the people who crushed them.
Yeah, like, woo!
Yeah.
I think it's also interesting how much he literally does not give a shit about the other tributes.
Yeah.
And how he only cares about getting her food because it makes him look good. And if he dies prior to the game, he can't win.
Again, this feels very Hamilton-y.
Yeah.
You know? Where it just feels like Hamilton is just like, I want to be rich.
Yeah.
I want to have status. I
Social
want
status
to have
is
power.
important. How can I get it?
How can I get it?
And speaking of that, everyone, even Snow, calls Lucy Gray his girl.
Yeah.
His tribute. His girl. Like, the whole time.
Yeah.
It's infuriating. He seems to have some empathy and care about other people. Like, he really did feel genuinely sad when the twins passed away in the bombing. He was like, I actually like them. Damn.
Yeah.
But he refuses to go outside of the bounds of what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So, like, even if, like, something was needing to be done, if it wasn't within his things, he wouldn't do it. Especially where Sejanus is involved, because he hates being fucking associated with him.
Yeah.
Also, like, the word rebel is used sparingly, and whenever it is, Snow's like, I don't like that word.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting thing that happens. So how do you feel about the first part?
Pretty good.
Yeah? What do you expect? So, let's say the second part is the games themselves. And then the third part is the repercussions from the games. Mm-hmm. I don't want to get too many spoilers for the last part, but what do you think?
I think it's going to be pretty cool. I like this one better just because it's like a more interesting main character.
You think Snow's more interesting than Katniss?
As a main character, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. I think it would have been interesting in the original trilogy to do, like, some POV switches to Peeta every once in a while. Or Haymitch. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Just give me more Haymitch. I just love Haymitch. That's all I want. But, okay, so it looks like we're actually just going to have to do part 2 and 3 as separate episodes. Yeah. So, again, just follow us on platforms. Leave us a review, please.
Follow platforms. Leave reviews. Love.
I know. For some reason, I want love to be the next one.
Love you. Love you
just
guys.
Just love in general.
Yeah.
Well, I don't love y'all because I don't know.
I don't know who the fuck you are,
yeah,
but I love you.
I'm gonna...
I love you. You can do no wrong.
Well,
play this in court if you need it. This is a character.
Don't.
This is a character.
This is a character eval.
Yeah.
My name's Blue, and I love to read.
And my name's Justin. I will be your character witness.